Hello and welcome to Ears for Dragon, an Eragon reread podcast. I'm your host Charlie.
I'm Nick.
I'm Sian.
And Sian's on summary today.
Yeah. So we're starting off with the chapter A Warrior and a Healer. The gang reunite with their horses, and Eragon takes some time to heal the arrow wounds that Saphira took in their escape. As soon as he's finished healing that, they set off again on horseback to continue with fleeing and escaping from the soldiers, because they're only half a league from town. Eragon thinks a lot about elf facts while on this, while fleeing. At dawn, they stop and make a little camp. The elf is still asleep. Murtagh reveals that the reason that Eragon was in Gilead after being captured by Urgals is that the Urgals are working with the Empire. This causes Eragon to think a lot about all of the horrible actions that he has seen the Urgals commit, and is confused and outraged that the king could have ordered that.
Wait, the king's evil?
Wait a minute, no way.
They discuss Vortex's potential political strategies. It's very clear that Murtagh knows a lot more about politics than Eragon does.
It's pretty good.
Saphira wonders why the Urgals have been being sent south towards, as if they were headed towards the desert, which is something that we have heard in many of the small towns since leaving Carvahall. But Eragon is a bit sleepy and he doesn't want to talk or think about that right now. Then he discovers that the elf has been heavily tortured and is very, very injured. And using shared strength from Saphira, he goes through and heals the worst of her wounds. By this time, it's about midday because they made camp at dawn. And they set off again, but Murtagh is leading Snowfire so that Eragon can sleep in the saddle after spending his entire rest period healing. Then we are in the next chapter, Water from Sand. They decide once again that they are sticking together with Murtagh and discuss which direction they should go to, and they discuss what is in each of the cardinal directions from where they are, and decide that they should try and cut through the Hatterack Desert towards the Boa Mountains, because if they were to head directly across the desert, they would almost certainly just die on the trip.
Oh my god, Boa?
Where is she?
She's there.
Eragon tries to come up with ideas on how they can get water in the desert, because between Saphira and the two horses, they will need quite a lot of water on this trip. He attempts to transmute a small speck of dirt into water, and the energy cost is so great that he fears that he may be killed whilst doing so.
Oh my god.
Saphira tells him how incredibly stupid that is. He sketches a map of Carvahall and the Palancar Valley in the dirt, then says he doesn't want to speak about it, and then notices that the part of his little map where he had dug the river, there is some moisture there. And he discovers that calling water up through the earth is much, much, much less energy intensive than it was to try and change something into water. And he feels confident that if he works slowly at it and potentially works together with Saphira, they will easily be able to draw enough water out of the desert ground to make it through their trip. And then we're at the next chapter, the Ramia River. They tie the elf to Saphira's underbelly so that she doesn't get saddle sores, because she still has not yet woken up. They go off the trail to avoid soldiers after a couple of near misses, and they skirt around some towns in the deep of night before eventually reaching the river. Saphira is really concerned that the elf still hasn't woken up because she has not eaten or drunk in that time period, and although they are beginning to suspect that it may be some kind of elven physiological intentional coma kind of thing, they're wondering why hasn't she woken up now that she's out of danger. Then they, after sleeping, they approach the river and discover that they have been quite unlucky and have approached it at one of the worst possible points they could have, where there is a large bend and the water is swift flowing, very, very wide and very deep, and it is so for several miles in either direction, so they don't have much of an option in terms of fording it. other than having Saphira carry the horses across the water.
God.
You may get a little bit of an idea of what my opinion is on how I've said that, but it goes surprisingly well, and they do escape the soldiers, who are then unable to ford the river because they're at an unfordable part of this river. They continue travelling along, deeply, deeply tired, until eventually the ground begins to soften, and they reach the sands that are the beginning of the Hatterack Desert.
Wahoo!
And that is the end of our readings for this week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, mostly just like...
Not a lot going on.
Plot-wise, not heaps.
Plot-wise, not heaps.
But I think it's kind of it's nice after how much batshit insane stuff happened last chapter.
That's true.
But yeah, it's mostly just a very long chase scene.
I think it's cool to have like a chase scene and there's like distinct obstacles. I think that having whole chapters for each obstacle is kind of a bit much. You know, like in D&D you've got I do a skill check and we get through this in maybe 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Unless it goes really badly, which I guess...
I think the water thing went pretty badly.
I think, yeah, the water thing goes pretty badly.
Yeah, their survival check there was not ideal.
The horse thing almost goes badly.
I'm shocked that worked.
Yeah, honestly.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't have too much to say about the warrior and healer chapter because he mostly just spends it healing her. I gotta say, I
have got a little bit to talk about.
I got a little bit to say. I don't like how she's being talked about in these chapters at all. It's kind of gross.
That is something that I missed during my summary there. I think that I had even written it down, I just forgot to say it. While Eragon is healing all of her wounds, he is looking at her he's trying not to look at her body, supposedly, but he's a teenage boy and he's having some thoughts and feelings.
And he's like, Saphira, please don't look in my mind right now.
My ears are bright red,
You
Saphira,
don't want to see what's in them.
Yeah, the elf woman's not a woman yet. She's just kind of an object.
Yeah, completely. It's gross.
Yeah.
They won't shut up about how small and soft her body is, and like...
Well, it's not that they're doing that. It's all in the narration, which is like even weirder.
Like, we get it. She's a teeny tiny little frail woman folk. It's just... ugh. Yeah,
and you're bleeding a little bit.
What? Oh.
Oh, God.
Alright. It's fine.
Don't eat it. I guess it's your blood. You can do whatever you want. Hey, bro, you're bleeding a little.
Get away from me.
Yeah, no, I don't think he figured out about women yet.
No. 16-year-old Christopher Paolini.
Yeah, homeschool Christopher Paolini doesn't know about that women are people. Yeah, no, this kind of sucked a little bit. But apart from that, it's fine. She got tortured so bad.
Oh my god, so badly and so many times.
Whipped and burned and
claw-shaped brand marks.
Yeah.
What the hell is that about?
I like her rebellion tat though. Why would anyone get that?
Oh my god, what if we got matching rebellion tats?
Oh my god.
Well, then when the baddies catch us, they'll be able to tell we're in the rebellion.
Oh my god, what have we got podcast tats?
Ears for dragon across the collarbone.
No.
Big teeth.
Face tattoo.
Devastate.
Just a big dragon on the cheek.
What if we got something really completely unrelated and said, oh yeah, that's for my podcast?
Wait, what if we got the fucking the symbols for the swords?
Oh,
that's actually cute.
Cute.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try to get through these chapters in the book first, I think.
Before we permanently do it. I like the bit where they show up and Saphira greets them with a soft bugle.
Yes. Oh my god,
very
yes.
cute. I don't think about her like making a lot of noises because all the speech we get from her is mental, but like she's a big animal and she's probably making really funny noises all the time. She's a big cat lizard.
That's something I've really been loving. I've been reading the Rainwild Chronicles by Robin Hobb recently. And in that, the dragons can communicate mentally, but not every human can hear it.
Oh, cool.
So some humans are just hearing a lot of, like, animal sounds, while other people are getting, like, beamed directly into their mind, full sentient conversation.
Someone's getting telepathic growling and grunting.
No, they're hearing the physical sounds.
Oh, okay.
Telepathic growling.
That would be really funny.
Me in any situation.
No, so they're hearing the dragons going like, and everyone else is getting in their mind like a tall tale or something.
And it's like getting translated.
So they're just seeing like, oh yeah, no, really good point. Like,
these dragons would not admit anyone has a good point.
Oh no, the guy's talking to them.
They're far too prideful.
Well, they're dragons.
to be doing that. But yeah, it was just made me think of that because a bugle is about the kind of way that they would describe one of their regular noises. They like to they hoot sometimes. They they kind of howl together.
Saphira does a lot in this chapter.
Boys, yes, she actually has stuff to do. It's nice.
At the start of it, when she's getting healed by Eragon, she absolutely fucking backhands Murtagh.
Yeah.
She knocks him out.
Yeah.
I mean, he's all good, but
Oh no, I like that she picks up a tree branch and holds it in her mouth to bite on it.
It's not a tree branch, bro. It's
a whole tree.
A whole tree?
It's a whole tree. And when she's shaking her
ground.
head around, in pain, they are getting hit with clods of dirt from the root system.
Oh, it's so good. She's so funny.
It's so funny.
It smacks Murtagh 20 feet away or something.
Yeah, he just goes fucking flying. I like when Eragon's talking about, how could the king send Urgals to kill these whole villages, and she's just because he's evil.
He's evil.
Because he's a bad
The evil
dude.
king is evil.
Just quickly back on the topic of her knocking him across the world.
Yeah.
That also happens in the books I've been reading, where this dragon's oh, you want to fly, huh? And smacks someone with their wing and sends them flying. You want to fly so bad, huh?
Dumbass.
Yeah, but yeah, the fact that Eragon is literally going oh my god, how could anyone commit such atrocities? Because he's evil. That is the conversation we had with our flatmate a few days ago.
Yeah.
Oh my god, there's evil in the world? Yeah, bro, there's evil in the world.
Why would anyone do this evil thing? It's fucking evil.
Evil.
There's no good reason to do an atrocity.
I do want to know, what is what's the gain in killing that many of your own citizens with no scapegoat? He's not saying oh, my enemies destroyed Yerzak or whatever. It's just all those villages are being ransacked for no reason, and then later he has to be the Urgals are cool, actually.
Well, only if he tells people about the Urgals.
Exactly. So, yeah, I guess he's maybe just setting them up so that people will go oh my god, did the Varden do this?
I think
that's the idea.
Well, they killed everyone in that town.
Yeah.
If they hadn't gotten caught by Brahm and Eragon walking through, no one would have known it was Urgals. Obviously.
I mean, unless they were really looking for it, because they do have they're huge and they really leave footprints and shit like that, but
that washes away with...
Well, but they left all the corpses in a giant Urgal death pile.
Oh yeah, no, with an Urgal spear.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true, yeah. No, it's not
Giant
much
Urgal death pile.
There's not a lot of it coming back from there.
Bad name.
Yes, I'm not really sure what the point of his plans are, but I think he's just an evil guy.
Yeah, he's pretty just evil, and sometimes it's okay for a bad guy to be evil.
Yeah, I think at this point in this story, your villain doesn't need to have complex motivations. Plus, I'm the evil emperor, and I'm going to kill people.
I'm wondering if because he's sending them all in the direction of the desert, which is the direction we're led to believe the Varden is, if he's just hoping to use all the Urgals to wipe out two forces he doesn't like that much, the Varden and the Urgals can just fight.
Yeah.
And then whoever's left he can send his actual soldiers in and clean up.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I'm not sure the Urgals are going to make it across the desert, to be honest. They're from Ice World.
Yeah.
And they have no water.
From memories. They do make it there.
Maybe they just take a really slow time.
I don't think they have to necessarily go through the desert. That's just these guys are being chased and have to go the quickest way possible.
True.
Well, I think in this chapter, Murtagh, with his political knowledge, says the king doesn't have to reveal that he's doing this because he can just blame it on the elves and the Varden.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I don't know why he would be doing it in the first place.
Yeah.
But I think it is because he's Saphira said it so good. He's evil.
He's the evil guy and he's suspicious of people. I don't know why he's suspicious of
villages.
The random villages.
Literally Animal Crossing village.
But yeah. No.
What if there's you log into Animal Crossing and it's being
the Urgals are being there. Fuck. Raven, no.
That's the Friday event. The Urgals come.
Yeah, they're implementing raids to Animal Crossing.
New patch.
Yeah.
Becomes a whole new genre.
Looking at the map, Eragon and Murtagh are going this way to diagonally across this little chunk to get to the mounts as quickly as possible.
But they wouldn't.
But the Urgals could very easily just go around because
Yeah.
they don't actually have any reason to go as quickly as is possible to do.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Because the Varden is there, and that's where the Varden is. They're not
Yeah.
really going anywhere. So the Urgals can take their time and go around, not through the
Because,
desert.
like, the Varden can't really move their base very easily.
No. I got kind of scared for a second. The town that they pass is called Bull Ridge, and I thought I may have accidentally stolen that for D&D again, like I always do, but the one you guys are in at the moment is called Bull Water.
Oh, okay.
different.
It's different.
It's different.
There was an incredible moment in our other campaign where we arrived at a place called... it was like literally like Kia Paravel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the name of the location. That's the castle from Narnia.
I've
And
never
it was
read
a literal coincidence.
I made it up.
Kia Paravel is the castle they live in Narnia.
Yeah. And you don't know
read
anything
Narnia.
about Narnia.
I don't know fucking nothing about
How do you
Narnia.
not know nothing about Narnia? You're Catholic.
I didn't find it very interesting as a child. Simply, I don't know. There
An
wasn't.
allegory for Catholicism.
Yeah, I was already going to Catholic school. I don't need that lion.
I didn't even
see
know
him
it was
every
an
day.
I didn't even know it was a fucking allegory. I was just
Honestly,
like,
neither
cool
did I. I
animals.
just didn't find the fantasy world that interesting. I'm sorry.
I find the
I
Lion,
had
the Witch, and the
Eragon.
Wardrobe
Yeah, true.
the least interesting of them, personally. I would skip it on a reread.
No, I didn't
when
read
was a
Narnia because I
child.
was addicted to Deltora Quest.
Oh, yeah. I love Deltora Quest.
I didn't need anything else. Redwall and Deltora Quest kept me going for years and years and years.
Oh, what? Didn't read all of the Redwall.
Yeah,
okay.
I
Do you
never
want
read.
to?
I read a lot of Deltora Quest and I read Animorphs and I read a lot of long serials like that, but I just also read Narnia.
I think
I was a kid, I had fucking time.
Yeah, time to read
Yeah.
everything. I don't know, they were just, I think I was very much like, they were thin books, and by the time I got round to them, I was like, I'm reading Charlie Bone, I don't need this.
Well, the thing that your parents failed to do was buy you an omnibus with all of them in one big
Yes,
book.
they did. I should have had that.
So when I say I was skipping that book, I was skipping a big chunk of pages in the middle of a really big book.
Oh, how good.
I mean, I read Lord of the Rings, and those are like little books visually on the outside, but the
bullshit.
text is tiny and there's
I
so
remember
many
trying
words.
to read that when I was like 10, and I was just like, what's going on?
It was so dense. It took me years. Well, maybe like 2 years, but I had to take a 2-month break in the middle of reading The Two Towers because I was like, I physically cannot handle reading any more
I had
text.
to take a 2-month break between each of the towers.
Man, what were we talking
I have
about?
no idea. My
The
final
Atrocities,
Right,
why would anyone-
Urgals.
Why would someone do this?
Politics.
Why would anyone ever believe
Why would
that the
anyone
rebellion
believe-
did something evil? Eragon, you thought they were evil until a couple months ago.
Come on,
Yeah.
man. My final note on this chapter is Eragon thinking that body of yours is insane. And that's my only thought. It was too much for me. Oh, it's just I don't like how it's written. I simply
No.
don't enjoy it.
The healing's good.
The healing is good, yeah. I'm glad he can do it well and like consistently at this point, because like if you are doing a
It's
story
so
like this
important.
and you don't have healing, you are fucked.
Yeah. Using Zephyra's magic is good. The detail about only healing important stuff is nice. I want to go back to talking about like Zephyra more in this chapter.
Yeah, please.
They actually have her scout ahead while Murtagh and Eragon are just like riding around. So she's actually going forward and finding like the path for them, which I think is really useful and like a good point to have when you've got a flying scout and B a dragon. So like she's got her own autonomy and actually being useful instead of following them. She's leading,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Yeah, I mean she's the like by far the most powerful member of the party.
Yeah.
So like it makes sense that she's like, I don't know, giving that much value to the journey, I guess. But yeah, no, she's I love her.
It's proper utilization of having a dragon with you, right?
It's not like here's my DM NPC who's just gonna hang out with you and do nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, what's next chapter is the sand debacle. That's insane. Well, first note is also down bad, drastic, and horny for an unconscious woman 10 times his age.
He does. Oh, that's something I've missed. Back in the previous chapter, Eragon's elf facts.
Yeah.
That he is consciously like, what facts do I know about elves? And it's about three things. That they are old.
Yep. She cannot be allowed to die.
They went somewhere.
Wait, that's Saphira's fact, actually.
Yeah, Saphira has a lot of reverence for the elves.
Yeah, Saphira's super pro elf. But
chalk that one up in my winning.
Unlike me.
yeah, I was asked last night, in a vulnerable state in the kitchen at 11 p.m.
Whoa.
to stake my position in the elf versus dwarf war.
Okay, this isn't a war, by the way.
This is what I was asked.
This is an entirely fabricated conflict coming straight from Nick, because I love dwarves.
Well, that's cool, because I hate elves.
I was asked my position on the elf v dwarf war, and I had to remain neutral.
War, it's a terrorist attack.
I'm remaining neutral on it because I simply don't consume very much high fantasy. So I've consumed much more media with elves in it than dwarves, so I feel like that's unfair. Maybe I'll read the dwarves after you. What's his fucking name?
Tungdill.
Tungdill. Yeah, maybe I'll read about Tungdill
the dwarf.
once you've finished it, and that can sway me. But as of now, I am neutral.
I think you're projecting, dude. I love dwarves. I like them just fine. I think they're cool.
I was asked to pick a side. I was asked to lay down my firstborn.
I just think it's fun naturally. Like, if elves and dwarves hate each other, then like elf fans and dwarf fans should really.
You think racial conflict's cool?
Well, only within the bounds
Only
of
when it's
fantasy.
fake.
So anyway, on Eragon's elf facts, the thing I wanted to point out is that no elf has been seen since the fall of the Riders. But that was only about 100 years ago. How are there no elf facts, like, floating around?
Maybe they were kind of secret.
Someone's grandpa could have known an elf.
Also, the elves, like, don't really, I don't know. They'll all still be the same elves from the time the Riders fell, right?
Yeah.
Same dudes.
Yeah, same guys.
Like 100 years is nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it says specifically that all the elves fled, so they were not originally all living where they are currently.
Yeah, that's what I was
They were
thinking.
living spread out and left, and it was not that long ago.
No, like 100 years ago, what is it, 2023? Like, we know about stuff from 1923, right?
Yeah.
We remember
Well,
stuff.
you know about the World Wars.
Yeah, well, I mean,
It's
we
like,
have
that's
the internet,
very
I
big,
guess,
I guess.
and they don't have that. Or books, really.
Yeah, but that's like...
Brom's the only
Like
person
two
going around
people.
telling stories
Like-
ever.
True. Maybe there was like a big misinformation campaign about elves. You know?
Yeah, but it's like... Okay, yeah, maybe, like, without the internet, you'd lose some knowledge. This is a different species of people who are hanging out.
Yeah.
You would know something. All Eragon knows is they lived a long time, and they are gone.
And some of them can use magic, which is the same.
Oh, yeah, but that's what
as
Brom
people.
just told him.
Yeah. So, like...
Oh, I guess he didn't think about this in his facts, but he also knows that even, like, a baby elf could beat him in a sword fight.
Yeah. And he knows what they look like, I guess. Kind of.
Pointy. That's all he
If
knows.
elves were like always around and they could always use magic, then why does no one in the kingdom know about them and magic at all?
Yeah, maybe Gabaltorix just has like the craziest like information suppression shit out there. Like he's just a really good.
I guess it's hinted that he kind of does, maybe.
Yeah, he's doing psyops.
Yeah, he's doing psyops.
Anti-elf style. Okay.
I think what else I've gotten here is that I think like as good as Saphira is in these chapters, I kind of wish we got more from her directly.
Yeah.
Like there's the line where he's like drawing the Palancar Valley, and he's getting mopey about it, and he's like, I don't want to talk about it, staving off Saphira's questions, but like we don't hear what those are.
Yeah.
And we don't like get a lot of dialogue from her apart. We like hear about her actions and we get like her interjections and conversations sometimes, but like the kind of casual stuff that you get from
Just random conversations.
Yeah,
She
and
doesn't
I
really
think
have
this
a
is-
voice for it.
yeah, and it is kind of a flaw in the writing just at this point because like Murtagh as well is just kind of floating around there.
Yeah.
But, like, she's been around for a really long time, and she just kind of seems like, not like a prop or anything, but she doesn't feel like a main character, really.
Yeah.
She's just kind of there, which I don't know, it's a little frustrating, and I'm hoping will get fixed later. But yeah, there's also that, he uses this kind of workaround, I think, a lot in these chapters, which is like they're in a chase scene and it's supposed to be kind of tense, and we hear about the encounters that they have with the soldiers, but I feel like they could have just simply been better chapters and like been more interesting and engaging if we'd seen at least one of those.
Yeah.
I don't, like, it just would have felt like, oh shit, something's really happening, instead of just like a passing line where like, oh, they encountered a couple of soldiers.
Yeah.
Things could be better, but it's mostly okay.
Yeah, because like it's a chase scene and there's tension, but there's not like, I don't know, it doesn't feel like there's consequences to it. It's
like, I feel like it's far less focused on, like you said, the consequences, like the fact that something's coming to get them, and it's really, really focused on how tired they are.
Yeah.
And like how hard it is to keep going, but it's not like, you don't get a sense of fear from them, you don't get a sense of like, if we stop we're actually completely fucked.
You get like a little bit of urgency, but not like, I don't know, it's not directly threatening.
Yeah, I just,
because they're ahead enough that it's not like immediate danger, but then it says like they're only a day's ride ahead, which is that's pretty tense.
Yeah, and somehow
and it's like they're almost getting caught at the river.
Yeah,
it's a little ambiguous as to like how close the enemy is at any time.
I guess if people are like being deployed from towns ahead of them and like semi-ambushing them.
Yeah, I want to know how to get them as well.
Yeah, I want to know how the information like was faster.
Yeah, I'm interested, like very interested.
We haven't heard anything about like pigeon post or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking pigeon post.
Yeah,
it can't be like writing messages.
I think Bron mentioned ravens at some point. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it seems like in the right wheelhouse of genre to have ravens.
Or like falcons or something.
Yeah. We should go back to bird messaging.
Please. Give the city pigeons a job. They'll love it.
You don't think they love unemployment?
I just don't think it's fulfilling.
Yeah,
Haven't been unemployed for a really long time.
You think people crave employment?
Yes. Well, not employment, just having something fun to do. They're like, do you
think people dream of labour?
You think pigeons are people?
I don't think they need to have jobs.
Maybe they'll like it. Come on. They'll probably like living in a roostery rather than like above the McDonald's. It's cold up there.
Yeah, and there's all the spiky things on the sign, so they can't sit there.
And if I've learned anything from the Rain Wilds, they'll fucking love getting pea meal feed.
Yes. Oh my god. The pigeon guys from that. I've loved hearing about
Oh
that.
my god. I don't want to give spoilers in the book about this book series. It's not even about our podcast in the podcast, but I have an update for you after this.
Oh, excellent. I'm thrilled to hear
on the pigeon people who I love. I'm a big fan of Eragon being really, really pissy, and Murtagh basically being like, fuck that attitude. Be normal right now.
Stop it.
Just like, hey, you're not mad at me right now. It's like, you're right.
I love the, like, as much as I've been down talking these chapters or whatever, the trying to turn dirt into water moment, not realizing that is obviously a really bad idea, and then straight up nearly dying is so good.
Yeah.
Before that, I want to talk about how Murtagh and Eragon had the discussion about what's in every direction, and saying the desert is the worst place we could go. And still decided to go to the desert.
Eragon like instantly is like, yeah, well, it's the desert, isn't it?
Yeah. It's got sand. It is dry.
It's cold, it's hot, it's irritating, it gets everywhere. He basically says that.
He does basically say that.
And then Murtagh's like, the desert will kill you. I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's dressed in all black, it's gonna be really hot.
But yeah, Eragon is like snapping at Murtagh, like, well, where are we gonna go? What are we even gonna do? And Murtagh's like, if you want to go your own way, I will not stop you. You may go. It's like, don't insult me. Your words hearten me, but they don't solve our problem.
Like really guiding him through his little
He's
tantrum.
so
Yeah.
impatient.
Come on.
We gotta do something.
We gotta do something. And yelling at me is not that.
His little, like, inner monologue about how him and Murtagh are bonded by the trials of battle and shit is so cute.
Yeah.
A brotherhood, you say?
We're friends,
whoa.
we're friends. Whoa.
Whoa, wait a second.
Whoa, a brotherhood?
Assassin's Creed?
This couldn't mean nothing.
There's a mention of the Razak with flying steeds.
Oh, yeah.
I want to see their beasts so bad.
Yeah, we just heard
Yes.
about them. We haven't seen them.
I think we do eventually.
We do eventually, but we haven't seen them yet.
Is it in this book?
No, I don't think they get to
I
Helgren
don't remember.
until the next book.
Yeah.
No, they definitely don't go to Helgren this book.
No.
Not fucking fair.
Yeah.
Call us Evil Rock.
The desert being too big for Eragon to picture is really good.
I love that the desert is so big that Galbatorix can't maintain his grip on the other side of it. So even though the rider's territory extended well beyond the desert, those people have just not been captured by the
Yeah, imagine
Empire.
being those
He's just like one guy.
being under the control of these riders for ages. They go away and just nothing happens.
They get killed. And there's some people a really long way away, and you just know something's up, but they don't come and see you.
So, guys, are we still part of that rider empire?
So,
or
guys, are we independent now? Or don't know what's going on.
Wish that were that for us when the Queen died.
Yeah.
We were just free, actually.
Yeah.
It's
They
over.
said we were going to be, and they lied.
I don't think anyone said they were going to be.
Maybe I just dreamed it. A beautiful dream.
It would have been sweet, but I don't think anyone ever said that was going to happen. Tragically.
Irish moment.
Whatever, I fucking hate that match.
But yeah, back on the water transmuting thing, he's sitting there completely still, and inside his mind he's like, fuck, I can't stop the spell, I'm dying right now, I am passing away, and there's nothing he can do.
And then there's a little change of a thimble,
And he's too weak to pick it up and drink it. The fact that he doesn't just collapse is insane. I love this though, the it's really scary, right?
Yeah.
I think Saphira should be a lot more pissed off because Eragon's sitting there having a fucking meltdown quietly. It's if he dies, you die.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
almost
nearly killed you.
both.
Yeah.
But
Murtagh would be pissed.
something.
Just
they both just dropped
They dropped dead, and he has to look after this unconscious elf.
guys.
guys.
Oh my god. But it's good setup for because he's done magic that's knocked him out before.
Yeah.
But he's never done a long spell that is clearly out of his
And realize, had that
And-
moment of realization.
and gone oh fuck, I could really die here. Which is I don't know, I think it was really
Yeah, I think
good.
the section's really good.
And also very funny, you are so stupid.
I
Why did you
looked
think
at
this would work?
in the glossary to see what the spell actually was, and
Is it dirt water?
no, it is change earth.
Come on.
That's so
You fucking
vague.
idiot. It's
Are you stupid?
that should have killed him.
Yeah, it
I
should have
think
killed
it's
him.
Deloy Moy, earth, change.
You're giving it a command? Wow. I love us sitting around here seasoned ancient language scholars, foolish young men.
Ah, young fool, if only you had studied chemistry, you would understand.
He should have at least said fucking dirt to water or something.
No. And the energy release from that alone surely should have blown them up.
Imagine transmutation, but with naming language. It's very cool.
Crazy.
Imagine dragons. If only.
I like when they
I do frequently.
discuss dragon magic again a bit, about how things just kind of happen around. That's one of my favorite dragon lore things, and in a whole bunch of different fantasy properties. It's just things change around dragons, people change around dragons, and it just happens. And I love it.
With
Yeah.
just innate magic.
Yeah,
Her having
and they just have an
control over it is
effect,
great as well.
an uncontrolled effect over the things around them.
Yeah, it's cool. They're big magic creatures and they deserve to, I don't know.
Change everything.
Yeah.
Emit beams that take effect,
Right, so water from Earth. They get some water from Earth. What do we get in the Rama
Then
River?
they reach the river and have their stew. They have their plan.
Oh, God.
Situation.
The horse
Those horses
situation.
should-
Horses
died.
can and will die of fear.
Yeah. Easily and happily.
For
They
fun.
love it. Frequently, just for no reason, they're like, I'm a bit
I'm
scared.
scared.
And they pass
Yeah.
away. Yeah, Tormek should be dead.
They have the
100%.
solution to hold the elf by strapping her to Saphira's stomach.
So undignified.
Undignified.
She's facing down
She's
as well.
facing
If she
down.
wakes
She's,
up,
like,
it's going to be horrible. Like, why would you do that?
You're in a month-long medical coma and you wake up and you're strapped to the back bottom of an aeroplane. Like, why would you do this to
Holy
her?
shit.
Like, at least the other way around,
You
you just see scales.
You can
and we'll be like,
heal
okay,
saddle
dragon.
sores.
Fine.
Yeah.
You're gonna inflict the most.
Instantly dies of
I
shock.
mean, like, it is a waste of energy to be healing them if you could prevent them, but holy shit, if she wakes up. Which you're hoping she does.
She wakes up when you're carrying the horses. What the fuck is going on?
She got untied before they carried the
Of
horses. Murtagh untied her on the other side, so
Yeah,
that
yeah.
Saphira would have an easier time carrying the horses.
Yeah, I guess did we say that in the summary? The plan is.
I did say
Yeah,
that.
the plan is
I
that they
had-
fucking pick the horses up and fly them over. I did the math, by the way. The river is, it said half a mile. That's an 800-meter across river, which is pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those poor beefs.
Oh my
Poor
god.
things.
They've already.
And they're having big ass claws on their underbelly. I know he put the little saddle blanket there, but horses are just like a big bag of gut.
They're gonna hurt him very bad.
They mentioned first before this for a few days. Eragon and Murtagh speed through the land, drove the horses as hard as they could,
These
without
horses-
killing them. Without killing them.
Don't worry, we know exactly how much they can take.
We asked.
Sometimes they rest.
Sometimes they dismounted and ran on.
That's stupid.
Oh, just stop, right?
Just
Just
stop.
stop.
Just rest.
You're not covering any more ground.
Also, what do you mean you're running? Getting off and walking next to the horse, yeah, that makes sense. Give it a little break. Walking is very energy efficient for a horse and for a human. Running next to the fucking horse. Are you serious?
The horse is at a canter. You are unconscious.
You're desperately flopping and screaming and sprinting. It's just get back on the horse.
I think
It's not worth it.
Eragon can probably run for a while. He's very physically fit or whatever.
Yeah.
You think Murtagh can long distance
Murtagh's
sprint?
having
I
an
don't
awful
think
time, I
either
think.
of them are runners.
No. They're sword guys.
They're
that's
hunters,
not-
they're walkers.
They are. We saw in Physical 100 what happens when you put a guy who runs in the running zone, a guy who does not run in the running zone. It's fucking bad. I don't
Evil
think they
to
can
them.
do it. I don't think they're as fit as that CrossFit guy, and he
No.
can only run for 20 minutes. God, that was insane. No, I don't know why they did that. That was batshit.
Yeah.
Also, they cover 16 leagues in one day, and that's 88 kilometers.
It's a hard
That's
day.
a hard day.
That's a long
That's
ride for those
doable, but
horses.
it's a hard day.
I think in... Oh, no, it's in miles. Don't worry, I was going to say something about the fast movement in D&D, but it's
Yeah.
I'm not doing that conversion, I'm not doing that maths, and miles is a fake measurement. So,
Well, and
leave
that,
it.
and that maths isn't
leagues
real
or whatever,
anyway.
Yeah.
Fathoms or whatever that
Fathoms?
What even was
We're
it?
burrowing
How far
through the
did
ground.
they go?
16 leagues.
I don't even know what a league is.
Is a nautical league different from...
Yeah, and
Yeah,
nautical mile is different from a
Yeah, because
There's
when I
all kinds of
googled it
things
to
like
do the
that.
math,
There's a
it only
furlong as
came
well.
up with... What, don't say something like that.
Is that like a sausage?
A furlong is like a fourth of a mile.
They're just saying whatever the fuck.
Oh my god, you
Maybe
can
it's a
just say
quarter.
whatever.
Just standardise your measurements, please.
Just use base 10.
Just join in, guys.
You have 10 fingers, do you not? Anyway, fuck Fahrenheit or whatever. Is that the measurement system? Imperial.
Imperial. How are you guys unironically using a measurement system called Imperial?
Honestly, when you seceded from the Empire, come on. We're still
the new
in there and we don't
American
use
Empire.
it. Oh, you're right.
Yeah, insane to carry these horses. And also, horses are so heavy.
Yes. Oh my
These
god.
are war horses.
Yeah. Tornak is a war horse. Saphira calls him Murtagh's silly animal. So Murtagh's silly animal is in hysterics. Yeah.
Tornak's like fucking sprinting around screaming.
Tornak got lifted up by a horrific beast that he's been kind of scared of but like accepting for a wee while. Grabbed with claws around his underbelly and lifted from the ground. And she's like, ugh, and he wants to run away. Yeah.
And he's a bit scared. Oh, and then Murtagh has to tie him down to stop him from dancing. He's had a bad day.
This is like... this horse could break a leg at like 7,000 different points in that. And that's a death sentence for a horse. If your horse breaks a leg, it just never will heal right. They're too heavy.
My king.
Tornak, you're our strongest soldier.
He is the strongest soldier in the world. The fact that
I feel like Eragon is kind of doing a little bit of saving face for Snowfire as well. I do not think Snowfire was as cool with it as Eragon's kind of wants you to believe.
No,
I think he was way less okay with that.
I see Eragon tries to calm Tornak psychically, but it's too late. It's already happening.
It's like he's foaming at the mouth, he's freaking the fuck out. And then when they get over there, they're like, yes, and they rested until the horses were calm. What, like 6 days?
Yeah. Tornak screamed in terror, kicking and tossing. It was a terrible sound, like screeching metal.
If your horse is that scared, he's killed himself.
It's over.
It's just bad. It's a bad plan.
And like,
imagine if Saphira is like halfway over the river and just it
and
just
the
stops.
thing about it also,
yes,
is also they said quite clearly, Saphira can't just carry the elf in her claws because it would be too dangerous to land. How is it less dangerous to land with a horse in her claws?
Yeah, maybe she just like deployed them from a height and they were okay.
That would not be okay.
She's jealous and she just kills them.
She does hate them.
Drowns them in the fucking river.
I think she hates Snowfire less than fucking Cadark. She hated him.
She was so jealous of Cadark.
I loved him so, but she hated him.
She hated his ass to the wind. So stupid. My final message. I loved the detail about giving the Morning Star a name. I thought that was so cute. Just like it's little world building stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that they were like falling asleep and like those guys cannot cross the river anywhere near you. You can get at least one night's sleep. Yeah. You do not need to be falling asleep in the saddle, both of you at the same time.
Give your horses a rest at least.
Yeah, see, this is the beginning of the section.
The start?
This is the beginning of the section in which their horses should be died.
No.
Is this like last chapter, and then like it continues a bit. The situation.
And it keep happening. These horses.
We
need to call the SPCA.
Yeah, these horses need rehomed like stat. It's bad.
They need to go hang out with Nigella.
Yeah, I was trying to be a map guy in this chapter.
I think Nigella got adopted, by the way. Everyone, please applaud and clap for the very old horse named Nigella who has been adopted.
Yes. In this chapter, there's a description of like where they are compared to the Rama River. It's like it's to the left and also to the right.
Yeah, they're in this little bend down here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like so confused looking at it. Like, where the fuck is
Holy
this?
shit, they got the fuck out of Gilead.
Yeah.
Quick.
Did they pass Bullridge?
Yeah, they skirted around it in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Didn't it take them a month to get from Dros Leona to Gilead?
Yeah, but Eragon said they were going slowly because he had broken ribs.
Yeah, so they fucking boosted it. It's been like a week.
He couldn't go very fast because of the agonies.
I see that.
But yeah, I'm looking at the chapter list here, and I think that we are definitely in the desert. It may not be that long in page-wise. We are definitely in the desert for another like couple chapters, but I don't think that we get to the location they are heading to for 4 or 5 more chapters, and they're on horseback that whole time.
Guys,
yeah. Right. So I'm on summary next.
Oh yeah. Do we have any?
Episode,
Does anybody have any final words? Final messages?
No, I think that's me.
I don't think so.
So
how could they possibly do that to these beasts? Is all I will say.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the Haderach Desert because the last line of this is they had reached the Haderach Desert.
And then the next chapter is called
the Haderach Desert.
No way.
Then we've got a path revealed and a clash of wills.
Yeah.
This is a pretty small chunk. It's like
Yeah, it should be
just over 10 pages.
Should be some
Yeah.
stuff to find out about.
Well, I'm excited for the path to be revealed.
Yeah, whatever
Simply.
it is.
Yeah, we're getting to like the very good bit in
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 chunks. Like what? Oh no, the next
It's
chunk.
not.
is, like,
It's not
yeah.
very much longer.
I mean, the
We're
other
getting
good bits
to-
behind us, where Brom dies. But
What have we got? Like 1, 2, 3, 4. Guys, we have like 5 episodes left.
nice. We better
Yeah, we
keep
do.
going
We
then,
have
huh?
5
Yeah.
episodes left.
We better somehow find 3 copies of Eldest.
You don't have it?
Not on me.
I got it upstairs.
Yeah, I got it too.
Yeah.
I mean, 1 copy of Eldest. Sorry, I've got too many Red Bull books on my shelf. I'm cluttering my shit up.
Yeah, independently,
I've got,
Sean and I
I
went
have-
home and grabbed our
Oh, yeah, I'm going home.
other copies. Yeah, you're going home.
Yeah,
like,
I have a
in 2 weeks.
dedicated shelf on my bookshelf for dragon books.
Sick.
So good.
So, unfortunately, my dragon-shaped lamp does not fit on that
Aw.
shelf. It is on a
It's so
different
miserable.
shelf.
Do you think we could add a picture of that to the show notes?
Yeah, I think so. I don't really know. Surely we can post it on our website or like our
The
Twitter, and
Twitter,
link
yeah.
it
Put it on your
to
Twitter.
link it in the. I'm putting it on my Twitter. I'm putting it on the
Yeah, that's-
our
Twitter.
official Twitter, and we
That's
can
what I
link
mean.
it in the show notes.
Yeah, we'll post a pic. It's one of the greatest pieces of furniture, decor of all time.
It's one of the best Facebook Marketplace finds I have ever.
I found
Yes.
it on Trade Me.
Was it on Trade?
It was
Me?
on Trade
Oh
Me.
yeah, because I was texting that woman.
Yeah. For all of you international listeners, Trade Me is
It's eBay.
eBay for New Zealand.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's okay. It has some good lamps on there quite frequently. If you want some lamps from a distant country. All right. Who's on Summary next week?
I will be.
Awesome. Yeah, we just said that.
Yeah, we just
Yeah.
said that.
Sorry, I forgot.
All right.
All right,
right,
like and subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe. You can find us on Tumblr, Twitter, and Reddit under E is for Dragon.
You should post on the Tumblr.
We should post on the Tumblr, yeah.
I revlogged some dragon pictures at some point, but I haven't been on it
Nice.
in like a few weeks or months, maybe.
We'll get back into it. We'll post some more dragon pics if you want to follow it. Yeah, just give us a review, give us a like on.
We're not on Patreon yet, but we might be.
Can you like things on podcast apps?
I don't know. Well, you
don't know.
can.
You can get-
You can subscribe to us on like Apple Music and,
And Spotify and stuff. That'd be
Yeah,
sick.
you can subscribe. You can give us a rating if you'd like. We
If
have
you're still
one
listening to
rating
this, I
right
have
now.
no idea where you're listening from because
I think mostly the US.
Yeah.
And someone in Argentina.
Oh, I haven't been looking at country analytics. People are mostly listening via Apple Podcasts.
yeah, I was mostly talking platform.
Please rate us and review us on Apple Podcasts. I don't know. I don't have an iPhone, so I don't know how it works.
But if you're on
It's
episode
easy.
12 and you're not subscribed yet, then go ahead and do that now.
Yeah. What
yeah,
are you doing?
it's easy.
It's super easy. All right, yeah, and we'll I guess we'll see you next week. This has been E is for Dragon, and thank you guys so much for listening.